You are listening to Peak One Sports.
Hey guys, and welcome. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Sports Page on the Peak One Sports Network. I'm Ashton, and with me today, as always, is Chris. What's going on, Chris?
Nothing much. Just been hanging out. Enjoyed the holiday. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, the same here. Began yesterday, 4th of July. Appreciate you all watching our video yesterday on Peak One Sports, our 100 subscriber challenge during your holiday festivities, if you will. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July weekend. Chris, how was your 4th of July? Or not 4th of July weekend, 4th of July holiday.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was just I tried to relax. I got on the grill, had some drumsticks, some carne asada.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I had like seasoned it. I put all the orange, the lemon, all the citrusy stuff, cilantro, onions, seasoned it, let it marinate for a little while, and then, put that on the grill, and then hot dog soups, because that's like, you can't have a fork without hot dogs. So it was really good, and then just kind of hung out by the pool, just, relaxed. So it was definitely a good time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You cannot do 4th of July without hot dogs, even if you don't like hot dogs.
Right.
We usually have different options with chili dogs or
hmm
whatever. Somehow, I don't know, maybe we should research that, why hot dogs are kind of the American. Maybe it's something to do with baseball and having hot dogs at baseball games.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But speaking of 4th of July festivities,
hmm
you're going to have that later in the show as our
Yeah.
second segment because today all the fans get a double dose of Chris Robb power rankings. We're going to do MLB power rankings because, we're right about at the halfway point in
hmm
the season, as well as the All-Star break coming up.
Yep.
So we're going to talk MLB power rankings, and then we're going to do, I think you said it was
Yeah.
power ranking 4th of July activities.
Activities, yeah, just like Fourth of July, just different things that either you do or you watch. So I have 5 of those that I have ranked for the ranking. So
All right, before we get started on that, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment, hit the notification button so you
mhm.
get the alert every time the sports page or any other of our amazing shows posts. And you can listen to all of the Peak One Sports Show however you listen to your podcasts. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so I'm gonna just do the activities first. So for the
Okay. All right, we'll
activities,
swap them around.
yep. So the fifth, number 5, I have just hanging by the pool, just kind of just relaxing, chilling in the sun. I know that Texas is like extremely hot, so and it's hot in Chicago. So hanging by the pool, number 5. Number 4, watching fireworks. I feel like that's like a necessity.
Number
Like
4 is
yeah,
fireworks.
yeah,
Wow.
it's really low.
Watching,
It's really
well,
low. Yeah. Uh,
maybe you have shooting fireworks and watching fireworks separate. I don't know, but it seems like fireworks would be number
yeah,
one. But
yeah. So
okay,
yeah, watching and shooting, just fireworks in general with number 4.
yeah,
Um, Number 3, baseball. Watching baseball.
okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
watching baseball. I love watching the games. I know there's a lot of games on today, so I'm definitely try to tune in. Number 2, the hot dog eating contest, the Nathan's hot dog contest. Just watching that is it's always pretty fun to me. Like it's hilarious. Um, and I don't like it almost made me not like hot dogs to a point because like, the dipping and
Yeah,
they throw it out.
I talked to my
Yeah.
10-year-old son who had no idea what it was.
Mhm.
Um, and he asked about it. He's like, I think I can do that. I'm like, well, I mean, you could eat as many hot dogs as you can really fast, but it's competing against other people.
Yeah.
And you're not going to enjoy it. There's no condiments or whatever. That's just going to slow you down. You're just basically taking the hot dog out of the bun, shoving it down your gullet, and then dipping the bun in water. Like
Water. Oh, that's
it's not even fun. It is as
hmm
gross as you think or anybody thinks hot dogs are. Watch a hot dog eating contest, and that's even worse. I put it right up there. If you go to a factory or whatever and watch a hot dog being made,
being made.
that will stop you from eating a hot dog just as quick
Hmm.
as watching people just annihilate hot dogs. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gross, but it's like almost a staple. So I had to put that number two. And then number one, grilling. Grilling number one for
Okay.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grilling, barbecuing. I know they're two
Yeah.
different things, but I'll put them up
Hmm.
there. I'm not good at barbecuing.
Yeah.
I know people will say, "What's your favorite barbecue item?" And other people like hot dogs, hamburgers, steaks. Like
Hmm.
that's grilling. That's completely
Hmm.
different. My brother's the grill
It is.
master in
It is.
barbecuing. Um, I feel like anybody can grill hot dogs, hamburgers, steak, chicken,
Yeah.
whatever. That's the extent I go. I mean, when you're actually just grilling, most of the hard work is done in the prep and
Yeah. Yeah.
marinating it and seasoning.
Absolutely.
Um, but I've seen some people completely screw up hot dogs and hamburgers, get the grill too hot.
Uh-huh.
It's just following instruction.
Yeah. Pretty
Just get
much.
it the right heat,
Hmm.
maintain that heat,
Yeah.
um, and keep it on the
That's
grill,
it.
flip it at a
That's it.
certain time. I know there's
Yeah.
50 different ways of doing it, for
Hmm.
whatever preference, but it amazes me how easy it is to grill, not barbecue, to just
Yeah.
grill, and people still can screw it up. But
Yeah. That's
yeah, that
how.
go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually just started grilling probably a few months ago. Like my dad's like a barbecuer. He's
Yeah,
almost like a grill master. He, has the charcoal. He does the charcoal just right. He, has the sauces, like for the ribs and you know, all the rubs and everything. Like that's his thing. I just learned how to do it. I haven't gone that far yet. I've done chicken, shrimp,
yeah.
steak, um, let's see, burgers, hot dogs, but like
Well,
I'm, the
burger. I mean,
whole
hot dogs are pre-cooked,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's just burgers. It's not. You don't have to get at the exact right temperature because people
yeah.
like it's
Hmm.
kind of like steak.
Hmm.
You might be able to screw up somebody's preference on steak, but you're not going to screw up a steak because
Right. Unless you just leave
yeah,
it,
yeah,
turn
unless you just do it. My wife likes her steaks well done, and that's just
oh,
sometimes
yeah.
it's hard to keep it on the grill long enough. I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't think, but yeah, unless you just completely charcoal it. Uh, Now getting it, being a grill master on steak and getting exactly what people's preferences are.
Hmm.
Um, I like mine medium rare, medium. I can do a
Oh
medium
wow,
well.
that's a
So
medium
I
well.
just throw my grill on the steak, like 4 minutes, flip it 4 minutes, maybe even less than that. And it's done. Like I honestly don't work that hard at it because I'm gonna like it as
Hmm.
long as it's not rare or well
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
I'm fine. Now chickens where you have to be careful and really follow it
Yeah.
and make sure you get
Mhm.
the right internal temperature.
Mhm.
Um, and a charcoal there's a little more I wouldn't say skill, just a little more experience in that.
Yeah, I
When you're
think so.
grilling with propane, like I said, it's just you turn it on, wait till the temperature
The
gets there,
heat.
throw it on there, do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Basically just pull it off before it burns.
Mhm.
That's all you have to do. Charcoal, I can see some people not. You have to have a little bit of experience with charcoal
Yeah.
to make sure that my first couple of times with charcoal, it was the opposite of burning. I screwed it up and I didn't keep the coals hot long enough, or I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
put enough coals on there when
Mhm.
I started years ago, very first started grilling.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Pools, yeah, pools are definitely up there. We don't have a pool. We have a small quarter-acre lot. We're
Okay.
thinking about getting an in-ground pool, and I'm like, I don't think there's any way we could get a permit for it. It's just a small yard.
Yeah.
But my wife and I were talking about getting, um, not us getting, but trying to convince everybody in the family to get a pool installed,
Mhm.
in-ground pool at her grandfather's place. Raised a bunch of land, and it's
Yeah.
family land or whatever,
Mhm.
um, which is where we're gonna go later, or which is where we went earlier yesterday.
Mhm.
Um, that was what we were trying to talk about. I can see pools, especially in the middle of summer. And fireworks, man. I'll throw
Yeah.
fireworks is watching them more now.
Yeah.
We'll do. I mean, I have little kids. We'll do more sprinklers and Roman
hmm
candles, bottle
The Roman
rockets.
candles. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Those are
big
good.
fireworks I haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
Um,
I think shooting fireworks would probably be like, a couple years ago, maybe like when I was in high school or something like that. It'd probably be number one. Like everything kind of switched because
yeah,
of just my
yeah,
age. Like just hanging by the pool now, just like, relaxing.
yeah.
Um,
Fireworks are fireworks. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah,
fun
yeah.
to watch. It's more like, hey, it's what you're
I
supposed to
love
do.
shooting. Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
watching a hot dog eating contest. If there's a hot dog eating contest in November on TV, nobody cares.
exactly. Yeah,
But
exactly.
fireworks are fireworks. I know the minor league team here, the Cleveland Railroaders, every Friday
Oh,
they
yeah.
do a really big fireworks show. And it's really cool. It's almost like your 4th of
hmm
July fireworks show.
hmm
Um, and it's cool if you go a certain amount of time without seeing fireworks, but fireworks are fireworks as long as it's a good enough show.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Um,
And then
what else did you have there? Grilling, pool,
grilling,
fireworks,
fireworks,
hot
baseball.
dog, and baseball. Yeah,
Yeah,
baseball for
yeah,
sure. I assume that no major league teams have today off.
yeah.
Uh, because 4th of July is such a staple
Right, right, right.
in baseball in America and all that intertwined, America's
hmm
pastime. Um, I would suspect that any baseball team that having season minor league, major league, whatever you want to call it, has a game today. I
I
wouldn't I
would,
wouldn't know why you'd pick 4th of July to have your off day.
yeah, yeah. It's like you said, it's a staple. Like you know, I've loved baseball for a long time, and I try to catch a game on the fourth, every single year. So it's always either like not just just me sitting down and watching it, but just you can have it on in the background while you're grilling or just hanging out, eating. Just it's just a great thing to just have on in the background, just to pass the time. So
Yeah, and right now I guess it depends where you are and what your team's broadcasting rights are. But I know I had to watch a nationally televised game because here in Texas, is the Rangers you can't watch unless you have
it's on
Bally's.
Bali.
Bally's.
Oh, okay.
Or you have to have Direct TV. Like I bought the app and paid the 20 whatever a month for it.
hmm
But that was only for Maverick Stars, Dallas Wings. That
hmm
doesn't include, for whatever reason, I'm not sure. It doesn't include the Rangers in that package. I don't know
That's
if that's
weird.
the same experience for
They all play in Arlington, so that's a little
other
weird.
areas or not. Like they're on Bally's, whatever you want to say. As our Mavericks, as our Stars, as our Dallas Wings, but
Mhm.
for some reason you can't watch them. I don't know. Apparently you actually have to have Direct TV. If
Yeah.
that, or I guess that was the only one last year. I don't know if there's any more.
hmm
So yeah, I can't even watch the Rangers unless they play
Or like
a
ESPN or
national
something
game.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ESPN. I noticed they were
Luckily,
on
they're good
Fox
this year.
Sports 1 a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to start checking that more often to see if they're
Yeah.
on that
Luckily,
channel.
they're good this year because, like, if they were terrible or they were like,
Yeah, you
500,
wouldn't care.
you wouldn't even, yeah, you wouldn't even be able
Maybe
to
for
catch
4th of
that.
July, just that's something you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, before we get into MLB power rankings, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Betalytics. The Betalytics dashboards allow you to quickly identify the top graded best bets and hottest trends. Use promo code PEAK1 for 25% off when you sign up today. Go to betalytics.com to start betting smarter.
Gotcha. So yeah. So my second power ranking for baseball, I just have a top five. So it's a lot of shifting that's happened from the past week.
Yeah.
A lot of series that were played. The top two are, they're pretty much, steady at 1 and 2. But I'll start from the bottom. So Texas dropped to number five. So
Yeah.
Texas at number
They've
five.
been slipping as of
Yeah,
lately.
3-6 in the last nine. They still have a 3-game lead in the AOS, but um, it's they lost their last series to Houston, and that's Houston's number four, and that's why I kind of like not necessarily they're better, but who's surging. So
Yeah, power rankings aren't going to be. I mean,
mhm,
they shift so much. Does the best team in
yeah,
the league shift as
hmm
much? No, not really. But baseball, uh, every team's going to win 50 and every team's going to lose 50. It's the
yeah,
62 games in between your. I mean, I
hmm
guess unless you're Oakland, they may not win 50. I don't know.
or Kansas
Or
City.
Kansas City. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. The
yeah,
Royals are
yeah,
doing pretty bad too.
yeah. They're terrible. So yeah, Houston, number 4, they jumped Texas. Winning the series this past week. Um, they're surging. I I feel like Texas kind of just regressed. They started out real hot. They still have the second highest point differential in the league, but they just kind of regressed, came back down to the pack. I think a lot of people think that Houston's gonna overtake them. I
Yeah.
guess like
Yes,
experience or
still have a
just
lead. But yeah,
mhm,
Houston beat them 3 out of 4. So
mhm. Yeah.
they beat
So
them.
we
They get
got
to overtake that spot.
yeah,
That's how it
exactly.
works.
So yep. So I got Arizona at number 3. They've kind of been playing the same for the past like couple weeks. They're just kind of 500, but they haven't really regressed. They're just just kind of just coasting at 3. 2, I have Tampa Bay. They've been 1 and 2 this the whole year. They're
They've
5 and 5 in
regressed a
the
little
last
bit
3.
too.
Yeah,
They've
still have
lost.
the
I
highest
think
point.
they're five
point
and
differential.
five in their last 10.
Yep. 5 and 5 in the last 10. They still have the highest point differential in the league, but they've regressed. And then Atlanta, number 1, they
Yeah.
won 9 straight, 9 and 1 in the last 10. They got hot at the right time, and they're playing really good. I I don't see them like right now. If they were to play anybody in a 7-game series, I would take them
Yeah.
like so far. So they're the best team in the league right now. And that is my power ranks.
Yeah. We can call that, I guess, your midweek power or
Yeah,
mid-season power rankings,
yeah,
right there in the middle. I think we're a little bit
mhm,
past the midway
yeah, yeah,
point. Still a few more games before the All-Star break coming up this weekend.
yeah.
Um, that was a great power rankings. I have to agree. Atlanta. I mean, you want to say they slipped earlier on in the season, but they didn't
Mhm.
really. They just kind of took a tick back
Yeah, yeah,
and played under the radar, and then just came back. Um, Tampa, yeah, has been there the whole time, and they've slacked a little
mhm,
bit. The Rangers have been there right there 2-3 most of the season,
mhm,
or not most of it, but most of the season lately.
mhm.
Um, and yeah, they have been playing 500 ball for a while, and I'm surprised it took
Yeah,
them this long to start dropping. But you still have them in the top 5, and then
yeah,
Houston's right up there. They're a good team. They started off slow, beat the
mhm,
Rangers, so they deserve to jump them as well. Yeah,
yeah,
I totally agree on that power ranking.
yeah. Do, who would you have as the MVP for either the AL or NL so far?
Um, right now, I mean Shohei
Yeah,
Otani
sure. Yeah.
has, but what's interesting is he has a lot of rumors that he might be traded to the Dodgers.
Oh
So
wow.
can you imagine in the American League it just opens wide up? Then you have
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
Rangers, Simeon, Corey Seager,
Mm-hmm.
right there because both of those guys are right. They both are I think are top 5 in the MVP race, but it's
Definitely,
way
definitely.
up here is Otani, and then the rest of the top
Everybody
5,
else.
2 through 4 are down here, or 2 through 5 are down here. But
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't that be ridiculous
That
if
would
I
be
mean
crazy.
because he's outside of injury, whatever league he ends up in at the end of the year, he's winning. He's got
Yeah,
to.
for
He
sure,
he
for
has
sure.
to.
Yeah.
Uh, he's even slightly above the pace that Aaron Judge was on
Yeah,
last
yeah,
year. So not only is he's like 7-3 with a 3.01 ERA or something. Those are just the last stats I saw. He may have
Mm-hmm.
pitched since then. But those are ridiculous. I mean, those are great numbers for a pitcher, let
Mm-hmm.
alone somebody who's hit, I think, 31, maybe 32 home runs by now,
Mm-hmm.
leading the American League in most batting stats.
Got you.
Um, Cunha maybe in the NL. I don't think it's
Yeah,
as
I think it's Cunha. Yeah,
decisive.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, I had him as the so far, anyways, for the for NL MVP. he's been playing well. That whole team has just been playing great. He's kind of the best team, the best player on the best team so far. So, but it's not. I don't think it's as big of a gap as it is for sure in the AL.
Yeah, and outside of Aaron Judge breaking the record last year, which I think the AL record, I think
Mm-hmm.
there was still an argument for Ohtani to win last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
it's not, when you talk about how much should Shohei be paid after this season, it's not, well, the top hitter in the league should make this much, and then one of the best pitchers should make this much, and you combine them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's kind of ridiculous. You can't do that. I'm not sure why. That sounds like solid logic,
Right.
because if you just took, let's just take Acuna, and then you throw him in the lineup, and he'd
Mm-hmm.
win 2 out of every 3
Yeah.
starts he made, he'd have a 3 or better ERA.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't you? He's basically he is really taking up has 2 guys taking up 1 roster spot.
Mm-hmm.
So the value's there, but at the same point, what, are you going to pay him $70 million a year? I don't know.
He's almost
He might get paid
he's
that.
almost worth it. Yeah, he's gonna get. I'm very curious to see like what happens and how much he is gonna get whenever, like, because it's definitely gonna break the record. I think. I'm not
Yeah,
sure what it is,
and
but
each
it's definitely
record
gonna
was in baseball. In football, when a new quarterback is the highest paid, it's just jumping a little bit, and it's really
be.
not as much as they're saying. They'll say
Hmm.
5-year, $45 million a year, but really it's like a
Hmm.
2-year contract, and they're making
Yeah.
35. But
Hmm.
with incentives or whatever, they
He
make
can get.
it, but it's
Yeah.
just barely. They're just like, hey, I just want to be the highest paid, and they'll barely beat it with guaranteed money or something. In
Hmm.
baseball, it's all guaranteed.
Right. Yeah.
If you sign a 10-year, $550 million contract, and you break your neck the next week, you're still getting that money one way or another.
Oh man.
Um, man, I don't know. I guess it depends. The Angels aren't giving him that money.
Hmm.
I couldn't imagine that they'd give him that money. But you flip it on the other side. How can you not give him that money?
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't trust the Angels. They're having a decent season, but when
Hmm.
you've had 2 generational players in your roster and you haven't been able to do anything with it,
Exactly.
um, if I were the Angels, if I was an Angels fan, I would say just trade him, get what you can with him.
Get what you can. He would get. You'll get a
Yeah,
lot back. Yeah.
I'd like to, have it in Angels history that he won the MVP with whatever records he may break.
Hmm.
Um, but you have to, because you're going to get a haul for him. I expect 2 really big deals to happen in the next year or the next 7 months, whatever it turns out to be.
Hmm.
That you see one of the biggest trade packages of all time for a player
Yeah.
here in the next, what is it, a month, less than a month. I don't know when the trade though. It's definitely in July, so yeah, it'd be less than a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then you see the biggest contract signed in MLB history for whatever per year at least basis. I don't know total, because you have players signing for 12 years. Uh, I don't know if Otani's going to do that, but
Yeah.
he's going to sign for that length of time. But you're going to see a gigantic contract, the most per year ever. You have
Yeah.
to. It'd be
Yeah.
stupid.
He's earned it. Yeah. He definitely have to. I can't wait to see what happens. You said it's like trade rumors to the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's um, Dodgers. I don't know if that's the front runner, but I've heard it from more than one place.
Man,
Uh,
that'd be
but the
that's what
Rangers
they
have been
usually
on
do
that
though.
list.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to go to the Rangers.
Nah.
The Padres have been thrown out there,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, why not the Dodgers?
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
if
That's
not the
what
Dodgers,
they
who? The
do.
Yankees, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they do. So that was just funny. That's why I asked. So yeah.
Yeah, I just think that would be ridiculous that he's AL MVP all the way, and then if he gets traded to an NL team, that's how it works, right?
It has to, yeah.
Yeah, it has to. He's not going to win
It
the
has to,
AL
yeah.
MVP being on the Dodgers or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
That's just kind of weird that's how that would work out.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad
Yeah.
for Ronald Acuna Jr. if he.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that'd be rough.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for listening to this episode of the Sports Page on the Peak One Sports Network. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, like, share, do all of those different vernaculars. Help us grow. Until next time, I'm Ashton. That's Chris.
All right, see you guys.